My name is Philip, 57 years old. I'm an office worker living together with my wife Penny and our daughter Paige. The company that our daughter founded took off, so she renovated our old house. We were happily living in our newly renovated house. But one day, my superior at work told me that I was ordered to move from headquarters. When I asked him where I was moved to, a dark rumor that I heard came to mind. There's this woman named Surure, who's the department head of where I was moved to. She's a relative of the executive director of the headquarters, and she has a very harsh personality. I heard rumors that several young employees quit recently because they couldn't stand her. I used to be a department head, but considering everything that a department head has to do, I decided that this position is more suited to those who are younger. So I stepped down from the position to train and support younger staff. My superior at work asked me to train the young employees there, and he also asked me to observe Surure and report back to them. When I arrived at work on the first day, I saw an older woman scolding a younger female employee. I instantly knew that she was the rumored Surure. Everyone else was looking down on the floor, and they were very silent. They looked like they've all given up because they can't win over her. If they make an enemy of Surure, it would also mean that they'd make an enemy of the executive director of headquarters. Also, Surure is known to target and thoroughly bully those she doesn't like. So if you go against what she wants, you'll end up having a very unpleasant time. However, I established a good record early on, so I ended up being targeted by Surure. I think she was just jealous of me because I did well, compared to her, who'd been here longer than me.
Hey, I don't care whether you came from the headquarters or not, but I have a higher position than you, and the executive director of the headquarters is my relative. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Really?
Anyway, I'll finish this task, so...
That's what Surure said to me, and just like always, she took away the documents I made. That thief always takes away work that I almost finished, and she tells our boss and our clients that she made those documents. However, when I was at the head office, I did my work until before the final stage, and handed it to the younger employees so they could get credit for it. I don't feel good about getting my work stolen, but it's not that different from at the headquarters. I never complained once and just focused on my work. By the way, there's another employee who started working there on the same day as me. His name is Kinato, and he performs well too. He's young, tall, and handsome. Surure seems to like him, so she never complained when it came to him. But one day, the company president came and he entrusted me with business negotiation. Surprisingly, the company was Paige's company. Apparently, our company president and Paige have already met, but this is the first time they'll have a business negotiation. He told me that since Paige's company is growing into a large corporation, he wanted to entrust this negotiation to me because he said that I'm highly qualified. Actually, I never told anyone that I was Paige's father. I didn't want people to look at me or treat me special just because my daughter is the president of a leading company. However, when our president asked me to negotiate,
Mr. President, I'm a bit worried about letting Philip go alone. I'll accompany him on this important negotiation. Although he transferred from the headquarters, he's still a newbie here. I'm certain it will be better if I accompany him.
I see what she's trying to do. She'll make me do all the work, and she'll report to the president that she was the one who made the meeting a success. I can tell what her selfish plan is. I don't want to spend more time with this utterly repulsive human being. I bet she'll make me do all the work, so I think we won't be spending much time together. If I say that I don't want to work with her, she'll probably plan on making my life at work more miserable. So although unwillingly, I decided to go to the business negotiation with Surure. However, on the day of the business negotiation, I was supposed to present the proposal that day, but Surure started butting in and read the papers as if she made it. There is no doubt she was trying to make a good impression on Paige, because if Paige talks about her positively to our president will most probably give high praises to Surure. However, Paige asked for a detailed explanation about the contents to Surure, who had no idea what she just read.
Thank you. Could you please explain further about this part? If you could please give me a more detailed breakdown of this portion of this expense.
Huh? Well, it's...
Just as expected, she clammed up, and at times even gave misguided answers. Every time she did that, I guided her back to the right track. It's so annoying. But then...
Miss Saru, what you've been saying is incoherent. You've been running around the bush with your explanations. I will continue this discussion with Mr. Philip from here, so please leave.
What? But...
Please leave the room.
When Paige spoke definitively like that, Tsurure dropped her shoulders and left the room. After that, Paige called the president and told him that starting from the next meeting about the business negotiation, she didn't need Tsurure to be there. During dinner at home that night...
Hey, what's with that Suru woman? There used to be someone like her at my company, but I guess they're everywhere.
I'm sorry about that. Well, she's just that kind of person. I even heard rumors that several young employees quit because of her.
Really? I've heard that rumor too, but I see. So that was her.
I don't know why Paige knows about our company rumors. I thought of asking her, but then...
Dinner's ready. I made a chicken rice bowl.
My wife came out from the kitchen and brought food, so I wasn't able to ask Paige. Well, I guess it's not something that I want to ask no matter what. Also that night, my wife's friends were there, and they were helping with cooking.
I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I heard your conversation about the crazy coworker.
It's been a long time since we did what we used to do. Should we do it again?
Hey now, we're just ordinary housewives now, right? I don't think we should do it.
The three of them laughed at that comment, but after that business meeting we had, Tsurure started bullying me even more than before. She made complaints like the documents I made were hard to understand, and she was scolded by the president because of me. She called me many times to her office and talked about the same accusations. It was depressing that I couldn't do my tasks because of her. Then one day, it was announced that we were going on a company trip. According to my coworkers, Tsurure always looks forward to the yearly company trip. She uses the employees for this and that to serve her own needs. She makes them lift herself with praises. She does whatever she wants. She also makes it mandatory that everyone goes on the trip, and she announced it almost every single day. No one wants to go on a trip with Tsurure, but they don't want to be targeted by her after the trip. So most of the employees felt like they didn't have a choice but to go. We rode a bus to the hotel through the expressway. Tsurure took the seat at the back of the bus, and she made Kinato sit next to her. On the other hand, I was having a blast with the young employees. While I was helping out and supporting the youngsters, it seems like they started to like me. At work, Tsurure bans private talk and whispering in the office. So when we're at work, no one talks to me other than about work. According to Kinato, Tsurure was very annoying at that time, saying, "Philip is elated because the youngsters seem to like him." A few hours later, the bus stopped at a rest stop. It was announced that the bus would leave after the 15-minute break, and we must be on time or the bus will leave without us. At the rest stop, they sell Paige's favorite pudding. I hopped off the bus and headed to the souvenir shop. However, there was a long queue at the cashier. The queue's too long. Will I be able to get back to the bus on time? I guess I should queue until the last minute. Then, while I was waiting for my turn, this happened. Tsurure appeared from nowhere.
Oh my, what are you doing here, Philip?
I'm buying stuff. I was very annoyed by Tsurure because of her interruption at the meeting and her continuous sabotage of my work. So I responded to her bluntly, but...
Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. They said that the 15-minute break is actually a 25-minute break. Also, please buy this for me. I'll pay you back later.
Tsurure said, and handed me an expensive chocolate. If I say no to that, she'll probably target me later. If the break is 25 minutes, then I don't have to worry much about the time. A few minutes later, I paid for the chocolate that she handed me, and I then went to the toilet before going back to the parking area. However, huh? To my utter shock, the bus that was supposed to be parked there was not there. Completely shocked about what happened, I stood there dumbfounded. I then received a message from Tsurure saying, "Those who are incompetent for not saving their superior's face at a business meeting should run back instead of riding a vehicle?" What? There's no doubt that Tsurure lied to me when she told me that the break is 25 minutes, so the bus would leave without me. I also received messages from the young employees saying, "Is it true that you're sick?" I don't check my phone that often, so I didn't notice it right away. According to the messages I received from everyone, Tsurure told them that I told her that I felt sick and would go straight home. The young employees were suspicious about what Tsurure said, so they made the bus driver delay 5 minutes. However, the schedule was strict, so the time had to be abided, and I didn't reply to their message right away, so they had no choice but to leave without me. I knew how annoying she was, but I didn't expect that she would go this far. But when I heard that I had 10 extra minutes more, I felt relieved and happy, so I ended up believing what she said, but I was careless. I should have checked the time with my other coworkers to be sure. I gave a deep, heavy sigh, and I called a certain someone. I explained what happened and said that I needed to be picked up. Then that person became furious. A few hours later, she punished Tsurure. Thanks to her, I felt very refreshed. This is actually what happened.
We're finally here. I can't believe we would be stuck in traffic. Oh, my back hurts from all that sitting. Kanado, would you message me later?
When Tsurure tried to entwine her arms to Kinato's, that's when it happened.
Huh? What's that?
It's probably because she heard a piercing noise, because Tsurure looked in our direction and furrowed her brows in unease. Then, the moment when she saw where the noise was coming from, that's when she realized the severity of what she did.
Ah!
She went pale and let out a shriek. I was riding on a motorbike at the back of my wife, who was driving it. That's right, the person I called earlier was my wife, but she wasn't the only one who came to fetch me. The 2 friends who came to our house last night, and 20 more women around the same age as my wife, also came on their motorbikes. Behind them were 30 stern-looking younger women, also riding their respective motorbikes. My wife was leading them in front. She then stopped the motorbike we were riding in front of Tsurure.
It looks like you messed with my husband. Are you ready for what you're about to get? Ugh!
Tsurure was shocked, and she collapsed on the floor. Actually, my wife's an ex-delinquent. She's the ex-leader of these women, and she's still known as the legendary ex-leader in the area.
Oh, so it's you. You're the one who left Penny's husband at the rest stop.
Husband?
What you did to our leader's husband is outrageous. You know what's coming. You better brace yourself.
Leader? Who in the world is your wife?
Tsurure shriveled while pointing at my wife, but
How dare you point your finger at Penny? Stop pointing at her. Are you picking a fight with us, huh? It's been a while since we last assembled. I'm so pumped up. Now, how shall we punish her?
Ooh.
It was very sudden, so only us from the southern region are here, but since it's for Leader Penny, those from the northern region and the eastern region are on their way. You're screwed.
I'm sorry.
she started kneeling on the floor. After that, Tsurure was silent and did what she was told. She was taken somewhere that shall not be named by my wife's people. After that, Tsurure never came back to the hotel. Thanks to that, I was able to enjoy my time together with everyone. I opened the expensive chocolate that Tsurure made me buy. While we were eating and drinking together, they told me that this was the first time that they were enjoying the company trip. They're very thankful to my wife. The next day at work, Tsurure was unbelievably quiet. She made coffee and tea for her subordinates, and surprisingly, she worked diligently. I asked my wife what she did to Tsurure after that, but she told me that it's a secret. Tsurure looked very thin and haggard after not seeing her for days. What's worse for her is that when the company president came to the office,
Fired? Me?
shockingly for her, the president fired her. Actually, the guy named Kinato is a company internal investigator that Paige hired. So that explains why Paige knew about the rumors about Tsurure. Employees who had left the company reported that they had been harassed by Tsurure, but they had no proof. Neither the company nor the employees who left took concrete action. The executive director at the headquarters cautioned Tsurure about her harassment, but she denied those claims. However, thanks to Kinato's investigation, he was able to provide all the evidence. Of course, I also reported to my superior at the headquarters that Tsurure had been taking my work for hers, and also the fact that she kept interrupting my conversations with clients. Tsurure ended up having to pay alimony to the employees who quit because of her.
Please, I'm begging you. At this age, I don't think anyone will hire me. How will I be able to pay my bills? Please forgive me.
She knelt on the floor and bowed her head in desperation. However, the president gave a stern expression on his face, and she shook his head from side to side and walked out of the office.
Oh, this can't be real. Oh!
Tsurure's loud crying echoed through the office for a while. After that, she was fired from her job. Since she's not married and doesn't have children, and the executive director at the headquarters told their relatives what happened, nobody took her side as a result. Since she had to pay alimony to the former employees that she harassed, she went out to look for a job, but because of her age, no place wanted to hire her. So she started working part-time at a convenience store by day and a construction site by night. However, as she continued to work 24/7 without sleep, she got sick, and she ended up having to quit her job. She stayed at her apartment living a life similar to those who are shut in, but just being alive costs money. So as a result, she ended up borrowing money from the black market. Now she's working a side job and part-time at a factory and a convenience store. Even in her painful condition, she's forced to work for money. According to rumors, Tsurure sent a long message to the executive director crying for help, and she wrote about the harsh reality she was going through. The executive director crumpled the letter and threw it away though. As for me, I continued working at the same workplace, and I'm guiding and supporting the young and newly appointed department head. Now that Tsurure is not here, the workplace is very peaceful. My wife, our daughter, and I are getting along really well too. By the way, after the day that Tsurure was fired from her job, my wife's friends came to our house for dinner, and thank you so much for both of your help last time.
You don't have to thank us.
That's right, because Leader Penny helped us a lot when we were younger.
It's just natural for us to help Leader Penny's husband, so it's no big deal for us.
But I need to show my appreciation to you. These are souvenirs I got during the cloaking trip. It's not much, but please accept them.
What? Really?
Thank you very much, sir. We will thankfully accept them. I received a pudding and it was very delicious.
Thank you too, Paige. Thanks to you for introducing an excellent investigator to our president. We were able to finish off that annoying freak.
Food is ready, everyone. We're having mapo tofu today.
Wow, that looks delicious. Dad and I are very lucky to be able to taste the cooking of the legendary leader.
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!